We will measure the width of the collar to determine the neck size. Unbutton the top 3 or 4 buttons to fully open the shirt collar. We will be measuring from the middle of the button thread and measure across the neckband to the middle of the buttonhole. Make sure the neckband is straight and the tape measure lays straight across the neckband. In the comment box of Alexander West's measurement page, please note the ages of your shirt. This will determine the shrinkage allowance. Button all the buttons and lay the fabric flat and smooth out any excess wrinkles with your hands. From left to right, first find the bottom of the armhole. You will be measuring from the bottom armhole point to the opposite side. Hold down the left side with one hand and take the tape measure across the chest to the opposite armhole. You may need to adjust the shirt a little bit with your free fingers to get rid of excess wrinkles. Now let's move on to the stomach measurement. Make sure the shirt is lying flat on the surface. Our goal is to pick the narrowest width across the abdomen area. This area is usually located between the 5th and 6th buttons. Start with the top button and count downwards. Identify the skinniest part of the abdomen area and measure from one side to the other. Next, we move on to the hip measurement. You'll be measuring the widest part of the hips. Check to make sure that there are no excess overlaps at the center flaps. 2 flaps should sit right on top of each other without any crossing overlap. Identify the widest area. It is usually at the bottom of the shirt just before it starts to curve towards the center. Measure from the bottom hip point to the other side. Next, we move on to the shoulder measurement. Please flip over the shirt on its back to measure the shoulder. Smooth out any wrinkles before measuring. The shoulder end point is the seam where the sleeve meets the shoulder piece. Measure from one end to the other. While you are measuring, make sure the shirt is flat and there are no excess wrinkles. For the sleeve measurement, we will be measuring from the same shoulder end point and all the way down the sleeve to the end of the cuff. While you're measuring, please make sure the sleeve is straight. For the bicep measurement, place the shirt sleeve flat on the table as we will be measuring the circumference of the sleeve around the biceps. Again, start from the shoulder end point and measure approximately 6 inches down the sleeve to the bicep point. From this point, measure the cross section of the biceps. It is important that the tape measure create a 90-degree angle along the top sleeve edge. And now for the wrist measurement. The method of measuring a French cuff or barrel cuff are the same. We'll be measuring a French cuff here. Open the cuff all the way and we'll be measuring the horizontal length. It is important that you hold the tape measure parallel to both edges. Do not measure at an angle. You can use the buttonholes as a guide. Now we move on to our last measurement, the back length, and obviously this measurement determines the length of the shirt. Readjust your shirt so it is completely on the table. You'll be measuring from the center of the back neck seam all the way down to the bottom of the shirt. Please note a dress shirt should completely cover your buttocks as we do not want to deal with shirts tucking out during the day.